Good evening, students. Today we are going to continue with the mechanical stunning. So in the previous stunning, we have seen the why we have to go for stunning, and we have seen about how the captive bolt pistol work like. So in today's topic, I'll be talking about the cartridges, what are different types of cartridges, and stunning sights, and what are the signs of percussive stunnings. So I welcome to today's lecture. Cartridges. Okay, so different types of cartridges we'll be using. Okay, this is, you can see this, there's a different colors also. Okay, you can see this green, yellow, brown, red. So there are different companies will be producing different types of color with the different codes. These are called as color codes, we can say. So let's see what is this, how the cartridge is like. So this is the cartridge with the bullet. Okay, so you can see the bullet is here. Okay, but in our cases we will not be having the bullet, so that is why it's called as a blank cartridge. The bullet is not there. This is used by the armed force, like for firing and other things. This armed force people will be using the cartridge with the bullet, but here it is called, here there is no bullet. That is why we call it as a blank cartridge. So this is the case. Okay, this is the case in which the gunpowder is stored. Okay, the gunpowder will be stored in this case. Okay, and I talked about the primer. Primer is that the end, you can see down there is a primer, to which firing pin goes and hit. Okay, the firing pin goes and hit at the primer. Once it hits the primer, the primer will initiate the propellant combustions. Okay, so the combustion will be initiated and the gunpowder will explode, and it produces the force which will be pushing the piston forward, and because of the moving of the piston forward, the bullet will be going out. Okay, so this is the difference between the armed force cartridges. There will be a bullet, but in the case of captive bolt pistols, what we use for the slaughter, there is no need of this bullet. We need only the cartridges, so only it is called as a blank cartridges. So this is available in the different colors, so the green, red and yellow, and different the gunpowder, depending upon the size of the quantity of gunpowder we used, it's called 1 grain or 1.25 grains we'll be using sometime. In the this 1.25 grains or 1 grain is used for the small ruminants, the sheep and goat will be using this 1 grain or 1.25 grains cartridges. For large animals, we'll be going using the 3 grains or the 4 grains. I'll repeat it. We'll be using the 3 grains or the 4 grains. Okay. Again, the caliber is another important. Okay. You can see what is this caliber. This is the dia. This caliber. Okay. This is what we called as. So 0.22 caliber or 0.25 caliber will be using this. Okay. For different equipments, we'll be using the different caliber. Caliber will be used. Okay. 0.22 or 0.25 caliber. For example, we'll be using this green for the cat, red for the small animals. So for different companies, it will be varying. So what is gunpowder? So you should know what is gunpowder. Also, gunpowder is made out of, it's also called as black powder. We can call this as a black powder also. So gunpowder is mainly made up of the mixture of charcoal and the sulfur. Okay, the charcoal and sulfur and plus potassium nitrate, which is which is also known as saltpeter. So the sulfur and the charcoal will act as a fuel, while the saltpeter will act as a oxidizer. Okay, the saltpeter will act as a oxidizer. So this is how it is arranged like. So I think the cartridge is also very clear like. So we have the cartridge case in which the gunpowder is stored. We have the primer. To this primer only the firing pin will come and hit. Once it hit it, the primer will initiate the propellant combustions. Because of the propellant combustions, that will push the forward. Because of pushing of the piston forward, the bolt will be coming out. Okay, again you have to remember this, the caliber. When you are going for purchasing, you have to know this caliber also, whether we have to go for 0.22 or 0.25 caliber. Okay, so you can see here. So when using the captive bolt, ensure that correct strength is used. Whether see whether you have to go with the 1 grain or 3 grain or 4 grain. So normally I told you for the small ruminants or the small animals, we go with 1 grain or 1.25 grains. For the large animals, we go with 3 to 4 grains. That's what I told you. For the bulls and other things, we go with bulls or cattle, we go with 3 to 4 grains. And for the small animals, we go with the 1 grain cartridges. So what is 1 grain? 1 grain is nothing but 0.0647 it comes like. So you can round it at 0.065 grams. So 1 grain is equal to 0.065 grams. So that much is the gunpowder we'll be using. So in the case of large animals, we go with 3 to 4, so 0.065 into 3 grains. In the case of small animals, we go with 1 grain, so it is 0.065 grams. So in the most cases, we'll be using 0.2, that is about the caliber, 0.22 or 0.25 cartridges used. So in the case of horses, we have to go with 0.64 cartridges. Okay, so I told you about the different color code. We have seen here the color code. Okay, color code we have seen. So what is this color code indicates? The green color cartridge indicates for the larger cartridge. That's what I told you. For green color indicates for the large cartridge. Black topped is for the medium sized animals, and red topped for the small size. So here we'll be using 1 grain. Here we'll be using the large animals. We'll be using 3 to 4 grains. And the caliber is also very important when you are going for purchasing of the captive bolt. Is caliber we have to look into. Okay. So this is what the species. So when you purchase the captive bolt along with the cartridges, see that will be specification. So that specification should be clear. For example, you see 0.22 to 0.25. It can be used for beef, pork, and lamb. Okay. Here you can see is for which species you can use like. Okay. According to the specification, for example, cash. Okay. This cash. Particular type cow pouncher, we can go with 0.22 or 0.5, and we can use only in the cattle and the pigs. Okay, so the specification is also very important. Okay, we have to read the brochure properly, and you have to use it accordingly. Okay, coming to the type of stunners I told, one is the penetrative and non-penetrative. So here the penetrative, here you can see is this is the penetrative type. So it have a sharp corners like, okay, it will go, you know how the firing is taking place. Once you trigger it, what happens is the gunpowder will blast and it will be moving the bolt, and it will go and penetrate the brain, or it penetrate the skull, and it will be destroying the brain. In the case of non-penetrative, it will just go and hit it. So here it have the mushroom head. For the non-penetrative, it will not have the sharp end like this. It will have a mushroom end. It just go and hit it. So that is called as accelerated concussions. Okay, I'll be talking about that later. So here you can see, penetrative type due to the concussive blow to the skull and the physical damage. So here it leads to the physical damage. The brain is also damaged, but also the concussive blow is also happening here. Okay. In the non-penetrative, have a mushroom head. So it will not have the sharp end or the head like this. It will have a mushroom end. Okay, this will have a mushroom end which impact the skull but does not enter the brain. So because of this shape, it will not enter the brain, and this type of conduct insensible due to concussive force only. It is producing the unconsciousness is because of the accelerated concussions. There is no destruction of the brain damage. Okay. So as per the EU regulations, non-penetrative stuns are permitted for use in the poultry, rabbits, hares, and ruminants of less than 10 kg. Above 10 kg, this will not be suitable because the efficiency of stunning is not that much efficient as in the case of penetrative types. So then we generally go for this type where the brain can be utilized, because there is no destruction of the brain is taken. There is no much destruction of the physical destruction of the brain is not there. Physical damage of the brain is not there when you are using the this mushroom head. So mushroom head is used for the non-penetrative type of stunners, and this is used for the penetrative type of stunners. So coming to the maintenance. Maintenance is very important because see, at what speed it goes and hit the brain is very important. I told you average approximately 73 meters per second. So the maintenance is very clear. Okay, one is clean the barrel from inside and outside. Okay, clean the bolt. So once it goes and hit some brain part, especially in the penetrative type, some tissues and all these things will be sticking to this here. So it should be cleaned regularly. It should be cleaned. Okay, that should be done here. Another is clean the recuperative sleeves. This is very important. Okay, recuperative sleeves should be cleaned once in a while. It should be you have to remove this and clean it. Okay, clean the sleeves, or at the end of the work you have to clean it. Whenever possible, you clean the sleeves, because if this is not working properly, the bolt will not come back. So if it is not coming back, means this bolt will get embedded in the head, or it will get stick to the head or embedded in the stick, and it will be affecting the handler also. So there's a chance for a handler to get some accidents because it's so high force it is moving. So there's a chance for the handlers, it can pull the handler also along with that. Okay, so that can lead to the it is danger for the stunner also, the person who's doing the stunning also. So you have to be very careful about this. So you clean the recuperative sleeves daily, daily, and you also clean this area also. Next is weekly maintenance, what we have to do. Okay, clean the expansion chamber. I told you there will be expansion chamber where the soot will be forming. Soot means the carbon. I know I talked about the gunpowder. The gunpowder is a mixture of charcoal, so naturally there will be soot will be forming, or the smoke or the soot will be sticking there. Again, it will be affecting the firing and other problems also, propulsions of the bolt also. So it should be the cleaning expansion chamber, the carbon will be built, so it should be cleaned properly. Replace the sleeves. You should always replace. If there is any wear and tear on the sleeves, the recuperator sleeves should be replaced with a new one. That is very necessary, because in the meat technology unit also, we see that when there is any damage to the sleeves, this bolt will go and embed it in the head. Okay, so that is very important. So frequent cleaning, and also the wear and tear or the torn out sleeves should be replaced with the new ones. Okay, otherwise it will reduce the efficiency or the speed with which it goes and hit the brain, and the accelerated concussion efficiency will be reduced. Okay, which is very much most for the efficient stunning. Okay, now coming to the site of stunning. So for different animals, there are different site, we can say. Okay, this is, you can see here, this is a penetrative type. So from the medial canthus of the eye to the base of the horn, to the base of the opposite horn. So like this, we have to draw the point where it intersects. That is for the penetrate. So this is why we have different sites like. Okay, what is the importance of particular site? Okay, if the site is not proper, the efficiency of stunning will not be proper, because this is the site which is closest to the brain. You can see this is the closest to the brain. So each animal, why we go with a particular site is that because that will be the closest to the brain. Another thing is the skin, the bones, the frontal bones will be somewhat thinner. Okay, so the maximum penetrations can be taking place. So the captive bolt can go and hit at a high speed. So the accelerated concussions will be maximum here. So the unconscious, the efficiency of stunning will be more effective here. And that is the closest part to of the brain. That is, so why we have the particular site. One is the closest part to the brain. So the effect of stunning will be maximum. Another is penetrations of the captive bolt will be easy, because that the bone, that region will be somewhat thin. Okay, this is for the penetrative. Non-penetrative, the non-penetrative, I told the mushroom heads. Okay, similar to that same thing only, the medial canthus of the eye to the base of the horn, medial canthus opposite to the base of the horn. This is the site. Okay, when you draw from the medial canthus, from here you have to draw here to the base of the horn. From here you have to draw, so that there's a spot here above that 2 centimeter above that spot. Okay, that is for the non-penetrative type. Okay, for where we will be using the mushrooms, especially where the brain has to be utilized. In such cases, we have to go with the non-penetrative type. But remember that non-penetrative types cannot be site for the non-penetrative types. Okay, so you can see a different size. Okay, so commonly the frontally on the head region. So you will be selecting this sites. Okay, frontal sites, frontal bones only will be used. So in the case of cattle, it's from the medial canthus to the base of the horn, from here to here. Okay, that is a site for a penetrative and non-penetrative to 2 centimeter above the intersection of the two cross lines that we draw. Okay, imaginary cross lines we draw. For different species, it will be varying like. Okay, the alternative position. So we find that in sometimes in the case of buffalo, one thing, and another is in the case of the bulls, which is having a very old bulls with very massive bulls, we can say, where the frontal bone is very strong like. In that case, we'll be going with the alternative position. So in the case of buffalo, and in the case of very massive animals, or the frontal bone is very strong, even after when it is not, when we are using the captive bolt, and if it is not penetrating, there's another site. It is called as a occipital stunning site. That is the back of the ridges, which I'll explain to you later. Okay, the back of the ridges between the horns, there will be a ridge. Okay, in back of that one, there is one soft spot in the midline. Okay, at that spot you can select and you can hit. You can use the captive bolt. Why we select the site of mechanical stunning? Okay, this is the site I told you, from the medial canthus of the eye to the opposite base of the opposite horn. like this we'll be drawing, and this is the site. Okay, why we selected this site? Because that is the site which is closest to the brain. Since it is closest to the brain, the penetration of the captive bolt or the bolt will be maximum, and accelerated concussions will also be maximum. So that is why we have we select this site for each species of, we select we have different sites. Okay, so in the case of if a site for stunning of the goat, you can see, so you can see the goat brain is here. Okay, and the brain stem is here. Okay, the muscle is placed behind the bony mass of the midline. So you know that between this ear, whether it may be a polled or a unpolled animals, whether it's having horn or not having horn, we can go with a common site, that is the base. The muscle is placed. I talked about what is muscle, that position, the last end of the captive bolt. Okay, that muscle is placed behind the bony mass on the behind the bony mass. We are not placing on the bony mass, it's behind the bony mass, because if you place on the bony mass, a lot of energy will be utilized for the penetration through this, so the efficiency will be ready. So just behind the bony mass, in the midline, okay, so from here to here, if you're drawing, means back of this bony mass in the midline, and aim towards the tongue, and it's aimed towards the tongue. Okay, so this is a tongue, you know, this will be like in this position, this is the lower jaw, this is the upper jaw, so the tongue will be in this position, so approximate aim like this angle. Okay, this is the position, like, okay, you can aim. So the captive bolt will be entering here, and it will be destroying the brain. Okay, so now coming to the site for stunning for the sheep. So what is the site like? Okay, the muscle of the stunner should be placed on highest point of the head. This is for the polled sheep. Polled means without head, without horns. Okay, this is called a polled. The muscle of the stunner is placed on the highest point of the head, at the highest point of the head, on the midline, hence the straightforward. This, just like in the case of goat, we'll be doing here also. Okay, for the horned sheep, the muscle of the stunner should be placed on the midline behind the ridge. So you take, there's a ridge between the ridge, and aim towards the base of the tongue. So base of the tongue we'll be doing. Okay, this like this we'll be doing. So for sheep and goat is almost same, like, okay, you can do like, this is the angle we can use it. It's the base of the back of the ridges, and aim towards the base of the tongue. Okay, aims towards the base of the tongue. So so that is the closest part to the brain, so maximum. So suppose I'm doing means, it is, you can see the distance. Okay, if I'm doing from here means, again you can see the distance. But here you can see this is the closest part to the brain. Here also you can see the closest part to the brain. So this is how we can see it. This is the site. You can say this is the horn, means this is the back of this. Okay, this is the site, and we are placing towards the, this is the place we can do it. Okay, this is the place we can do it. Now it's clear, I think. Now coming to the pigs, normally in the case of pigs, we never go with a captive bolt, because the frontal bone will be very strong. So the penetration is also very difficult. So in any situation, if you want to do it, the site is that, you can see in the piston is placed 2.5 centimeter above the level of the highs. So this is the level of the highs. Okay, this is the level of the highs, 2.5 centimeter above this level at the midline, and is fired upward into the cranial cavity. So this is the brain, like, so from here, so 2.5 centimeter, it is slightly, we have to tilt it and fire it. Okay, upward direction we have to upward into the cranial cavity, so the brain will be destroyed. Okay, the brain will be destroyed. I think this is also clear. So 2.5 centimeter, the piston is placed 2.5 centimeter above the level of the highs. This is the level of the high, and fire upward into the cranial cavity. This is the site for pigs. Now coming to the horse. So in meat technology unit also, sometimes we used to do rendering of the horses also. For that also we should know the site where we can do it. So here you can see the brain is situated high in the head. So brain is situated in this area. Okay, and it's the brain stem. This is the brain stem. Okay, the brain is situated on the high in the head. The ideal site for stunning in the middle of the forehead. So this is the middle. So like medial canthus of the to base of the ear, you can see. In the horse, it is base of the ear. Two imaginary and drawn from the highs to the opposite ears. So it's clear now. 2 ears opposite, and stun the animal approximately 10 mm, that is 1 centimeter above where this line crosses. Okay, so you know this from the high, it is base of the ear. From here, it is this two line crosses at a particular point. You take around 1 centimeter or 10 mm above this, and the muscle of the stun should be tilted. It is not kept at 90 degrees. Slowly, it should be tilted. So you have to keep, because the brain is present in this region. Okay, the brain is present in this region, so that the bolt is directed through the upper brain towards the brainstem. So you know the brain. So it is slightly tilted and it is fired like this. So these cases also we come across in the meat technology units also. The horses will be coming. We do the stunning of these horses also, for which we will be using the captive bolt. Okay. So now you understood why we select the particular site. We select particular site because that is closest to the brain, and the bone at that region will be somewhat soft compared to the other region also. Okay. So this is a different site you can see closest to the brain, medial canthus to the base of the horn. You can see here in the case of horse, it is from the medial canthus to the base of the here we can see here. So from the sheep and goat below on the back of the ridges on the midline, it is towards the base of the tongue we'll be firing. Okay, so I talked about all these things you can see here. Okay, in the case of pigs, above the level of the high, 2.5 centimeter above the level, and it is slightly tilted, and towards the upward direction we'll be just firing. Okay. So success of stunning. Success of stunning is the success. So before you restain the animals, you see that captive bolt, everything is ready, because when you are restaining in the stunning box, we are putting slight stress on the animals. Okay, you see that the animal is not put for a long duration or held in the held in the stunning box for a long duration. So everything should be ready, and then only you should allow the animal to enter into the stunning box. Okay, so two things are very important. Success of the stunning depends upon the two things, or rather I can say this three things I can say. One is the position. Okay, position, I told you the position. Here it is this position, this green color, it shows for the non-penetrative. See, this is the mushroom head. You can see this is the mushroom head, like, okay, mushroom head. So you have to keep it, and this is how it goes at high speed. So I told about the medial canthus of the high and the base of the horn, and you should keep around this area. Okay, this area. Okay, this is for the non-penetrative. Penetrative type, this will be the location. For the penetrative type, this where that's two line joints, that will be the for the penetrative types. So this is for the non-penetrative. So it will have a mushroom head. So here it is having a mushroom head. So you can see here. See, this is the spot-like. Okay, this is a spot-like. Okay. So one is the position. Another is the angle of the stunner. So you found the position, but what angle you have to keep? For the case of cattle, it has to be kept 90 degree. Okay, you cannot tilt it, or it should be 90 degree, you have to keep it. Okay, this is for the penetrative type. You have to keep it at 90 degree. So you can see this is, if this is a spot, put it at 90 degree. So sharply the muscle of the stunner should be held at 90 degree, so the maximum penetration will be taking place. So you see here, closest to the brain, maximum penetration. See this to the brainstem, it is going like. But if the angle is changed, see how it is going. It is not destroying the maximum brain. See, if you keep it at the B angle, tiltly, if you keep it, how it is going. So it should be at 90 degree, we have to keep it, and we have to stun it. So it goes, the bolt will be going maximum, it will be destroying the brain, and it can go, even it can destroy the brain stems also. So that should be the angle, like, okay. So maximum penetration it should have. So this is one important. Another is the speed at which it is going eating. Okay. So I told if you want to improve this, because the energy, the kinetic energy. So once the gunpowder blast means it is going to push the chemical energy. The gunpowder is the chemical energy. So once it blast means it's going to convert into what is called as kinetic energy. So kinetic energy means half mv square. You know that. So the velocity should be maximum. So only when there is a maximum velocity, it can go and hit the head at maximum speed, so it can produce what is called as accelerated concussions. Okay, so for that the bolt should move at a very speed. If you want the bolt to move at a very high speed, the suit should not be there, the proper cleaning of the captive bolt, everything should be done properly. So now coming to the what is the mechanism in the captive bolt stunning, that is called as percussive stunning. What is percussive stunning? So this is a mechanism. Percussive means one solid body striking on the another solid body. Okay, that is called as percussive stunning. So here, when a fast and heavy object is correctly applied to the skull. So I can talk about one example is that this example is that See, when you hit a person at a particular point, especially in the mid of the forehead, if you hit it out, the person will collapse or he will fall down. Okay, that is the correct spot because we are hitting at the correct spot and it produces what you call as accelerated concussions. Okay, this is what happens in during the accidents also. So when you are not wearing the helmet, what happens is when a person goes and falls down, when he falls down, what happens? The accelerated concussion will be taking place or percussive stunning. So what is happening is when you apply a very heavy blow is correctly applied. So here the heavy blow is given by the bolt. The bolt will go and hit the skull. Okay, it produces a rapid acceleration of the head. So rapid acceleration will be produced in the head. So because of the rapid acceleration, what happens? The brain go and collide with the inside of the skull. So once it goes and hit the brain, once it goes and hit the skull, what happens is the accelerated concussion will be produced, or acceleration of the head will be produced. And it will be the brain will be start going collide with the skull. This causes disruption of the normal electric activity will be disturbed. The normal electric activities also be disturbed, and there will be a change in the pressure. So there will be increase in the intercranial pressures. Intercranial pressure will be increasing in the beginning, then it falls down rapidly. Okay, this is what happening in the accelerated concussion. More than the penetration, how fast we are going to hit the brain or acceleration concussion is very important in the effective stunning. So we can see the primary objective of captive bolt stunning is to induce immediate insensibility by severe blow to the skull of the animal. Next, sufficient concussive force. That's what I told. This is more important. Severe concussive force should be concussion is taking place. What happens is it will be damaging the brain. Okay, the brain nervous system will be damaged, the blood supplies will be damaged, or the blood supplies will be stopped, and it leads to what is called as the insensibility or the unconscious state. That is what happens even in the accidents. To reduce that accelerated concussion only, we are requested to wear the helmet when you are traveling, because once you fall it down, the rate of accelerated concussion will be reduced, so your brain damage will be reduced. Okay, so this is the good example I can say you how you have to hit, at what force we have to hit it. Okay, the spot and the force we are hitting. So this is what physiological effect of that. A sharp heavy blow is correctly applied to the skull. So when you are applying a sharp heavy blow, it produces a rapid acceleration of the head. So there is a rapid accelerations of the head will be causing the brain to impact against the inside of the skull. So the brain will go and hit against the skull, we can say. That is called as percussive. Okay, so what is happening? So disruption of the normal electrical activity resulting from the sudden massive increase in intracranial pressure. So cranial pressure will increase, followed by the sudden drop in the and subsequent damage to the nerves and the blood vessels. So since this captive bolt here in the accelerated concussion also, the captive bolt is accelerated concussion also, it leads to the nervous system will be affected, the blood supply will be disturbed, and it leads to the unconscious state. Okay, at what force is hitting or how properly you are hitting, the time of insensibility will be varying. Okay, and one thing is in the captive bolt is when it goes and the cranial pressures will also be, the cerebrospinal fluids pressure will also be affected, because you know the cerebrospinal fluid is the one which protects the inner part of the brain, or delicate structure is protected by the delicate structure of the brain is protected by the cerebrospinal fluid. It maintains the uniform pressure. So once it goes and the pressure will be dropped, the cerebrospinal fluids will be lost, the pressure will be dropped, and it acts as the cerebrospinal will also act as a cushion and shock absorber for the brain and the spinal cord. So this all will be lost, and it leads to insensibility or permanent damage to the brain. So that is what happening in the penetrative types of stunning. Okay. Coming to penetrative mechanism, that's what I told. What is happening? There is immediate and permanent insensibility due to destruction of the cortex. So you know that cortex will be destroyed. Intercranial pressure, first there will be rise, then there will be sudden jerking. That's accelerated concussion due to the energy that is of the bolt imparted by the bolt. So this bolt will come and hit the brain. So what is the disadvantage? Muscular hemorrhage will be there. Muscular hemorrhage will be there. Preclude the use of brain. So that you cannot use of the brain. And in the case of Islam people, such animals will not be, such practices also not accepted. And it is not suitable for slaughter of around 240 to 250 cattle per hour. And the aerosols. So once it goes and hit the brain or penetrate the brain, the aerosols or the brain content may sometimes comes out and it may spreading to the surroundings. Okay, that again it may pollute the environment, but it's not much like. Okay, so that is also another disadvantage we can say. Coming to the non-penetrative types. Okay, I talked about the mushroom head. Using mushroom head and is used in cows where the brain is collected for edible purposes. Okay, for edible purposes, if you want to use the brain, you can go with the mushroom type. But as per the EU regulations, the cattle above the ruminants above the 10 kgs we cannot use it because the efficiency of this non-penetrative is less, so the stunning will not be proper. That is why they say that we are not use it. This method is capable of producing immediate insulin which lasts for about 30 seconds. Okay, so for 30 seconds the animal will be unconscious. So the period between the stunning and sticking should not exceed more than 30 seconds. So within 30 seconds, we have to go for sticking operation. Otherwise, what happens? The pressure will be increasing and it can lead to the muscular hemorrhage. Muscular hemorrhage will be, or muscular splash we can say, that can happen in the non-penetrative type of percussion stunning also. Successfully applied in sheep and cows, are not useful in older animals. That's what I told. We cannot use in older animal because the efficiency is not that much compared to that of the penetrative types. In young calf, the intracranial hemorrhage may also occur. So we have seen all these things. Okay. So now coming to the sign of effective percussive stunning. So what is percussive stunning? I told you it is percussion means one solid body striking on the other. Here one is the brain is striking on the skull. Okay. So the initial effect is immediate collapse of the animals. Okay, immediate collapse. So you can see the animal became unconscious within 250 to 300 milliseconds. With a very short duration, the animal will become unconscious. Okay, so there will be first what you call as the tonic activity will be taking place. Okay, and accompanied by what is known as tonic activity. So first is the animal collapse. So within a fraction of seconds or within a milliseconds, so 250 to 3 millis, less than 250 to 300 milliseconds, the animal will collapse. Okay, and stop breathing, or the breathing become irregular and become rigid. So you can see the neck will be becoming rigid, the legs will be rigid, legs will be extended, and the bodies will be becoming very rigid with its head extended and its hind legs flexed towards the abdomen. So the hind legs will be first flexed towards the abdomen. This period of rigidity lasts only for 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, so this head extension and the legs will be coming towards the abdomen in the beginning. Okay, and this will last for only 10 to 20 seconds. The four legs may be flexed initially. First it will be coming towards the body and then gradually straightens out. So you can see this straightens out. Okay, the hind limbs will also be straightens out. This depends upon the speed and the severity of the blow. Okay, that's what I told you, at what speed and at what velocity it goes and hit is very important. Okay, this tonic activity is followed by a period of involuntary kicking. Involuntary kicking. After that we can find that the animal will be kicking. Okay, if it is kicking in the initial stage, immediately after stunning, if it is kicking, means it is improperly stunned. Okay, so you have to see here, one is immediate collapse of the animal will be there, stop breathing and become rigid. When it its head will be extended, its hind leg is flexed towards the abdomen, and this stage will last for around 10 to 20 seconds. Then the four legs may be flexed initially, then gradually straightened out. So it becomes straightened out. This depends upon the species and the severity of the blow. That's why at what velocity we are blowing, at what site we are blowing, this at what site it is hitting is very important. This tonic activity is followed by a period of involuntary kicking movements which gradually subsides. Okay, the sign of effective stunning, whether how we know that animal is stunned or not properly. One is, I told it will be immediate collapse. You have to watch for all the signs that I have told you. Lack of rhythmic breathing. Okay, initially there will be stop of breathing, then it will be a lack of rhythmic, there will not be proper breathing. Okay, rhythmic, lack of rhythmic breathing will be a lack of corneal reflex. See, so when you bring your hands near the eyes, there will be a lack of corneal reflex. Corneal reflex will not be there, and the natural spontaneous blink or vibrating of the eyelid will be absent. Eyelid will not close, or eyelid vibrations will not be there. Okay, this is how we, even during the accidents, we see when the patient comes, the doctor first check his corneal reflex, okay, whether brain is damaged or not. Okay, next is a relaxed jaw. The jaw will be relaxed and the tongue will come out, the loose tongue. Okay, these are the sign of effective stand. One is the immediate collapse, lack of rhythmic breathing, lack of corneal reflex. The tongues will be coming out. Most of the case, tongues will be coming out. The jaws will be relaxed. Okay, so you can see that this is how we can see the corneal reflex. You can see the tongues will be more, the jaws will be more relaxed. The tongues will be coming out. Here also you can see the tongues is coming out. Okay, so these are the sign of good stunning. What are the improper stunning? If you have not done the stunning properly, what has happened? One is why it is occurring. First, we should know why it is. One is incorrect position. That's what I told you. If your position is not proper, that's one problem. Another is the wrong cartridge we used. Okay, suppose we are not using the proper cartridge. Instead of 3 grains, suppose I am using only 1 grain. So naturally, the speed with which the bolt go will not be proper. So it leads to inefficient stunning. Next is poor gun maintenance. That's what I told you. If you are not maintaining the guns properly, that recuperator sleeves should be cleaned properly. The blasting chamber should be cleaned properly. We have to replace when the recuperator sleeves is not in good conditions. So that is what we have to say. Then what are signs we can see? Eyes are rolled out. Eyes will be rolled out. Another is shaking of the eyes. Eyes will be keep on shaking. When you go and see the corneal reflex, it will try to close the eyelids also. Standing and kicking. Okay, that's what I told you. It will keep on kicking immediately after the stunning. Actually, in the third stage, after the tonic spasm, clonic spasm, then we have to see the clicking. What kicking we have to see. But here what happens is immediately after stunning, the animals will be kicking the leg, and there will be rhythmic breathing. Rhythmic breathing will be there. The breathing will be proper, and the animal try to rise its head. That is another typical sign we can see it. Okay, if the animal is not stunned properly, it try to rise its head, and sometimes it makes sounds also. Okay, this all shows the stunning is not proper. Okay, stunning is not done proper, or improper stunning is there. So precautions to be followed. What are the precautions you have to follow? One is captive bolts should always be handled as if they are loaded. Whether it's loaded or unloaded, see that it is. If you should always hand the captive bolts as if it is loaded. Never leave the loaded stunner unattended. Okay, because accidentally if you trigger it, what happens is the bolt will come out. If the person is standing nearby, it can pierce his body. So you should be very careful. Never leave a loaded stunner unattended. So handle it properly, and always treat that it is loaded. Okay, always think it is loaded, and handle the stunner according to it. Do not open the stunner for 30 seconds. That's what I told you. Immediately after, once you load it, you fire it out. Again, immediately do not open it. Wait for some 30 seconds, minimum 30 seconds. Then you go for loading the next one. Is it clear? Loading the cartridge. At the end of the day, kills, return the stunner to the person appointed to carry out the daily cleaning process. That's what I know. If you are not cleaning it properly daily, what happens is the efficiency of the stunning will not be proper. Okay, because the suit will be forming, the recuperator sleeves will be not working properly. Okay, make certain the stunner is unloaded before cleaning. Okay, so you always see that before before cleaning, you see that there is no cartridge inside it. Okay, there is not filled cartridge, or the blank cartridge is not there. Immediately report any fault in the operation. If there is any fault, means immediately you report to the responsible persons and see that the fault is rectified, and then only you put it in use. Okay, when not in use, ensure that captive bolt equipment is stored securely at all times. See, this is what we, in the meat technology unit also, when we are not using it, we get the stunner back and we keep it in the locker, because the person can misuse it. Okay, that is another thing. And even the cartridge we use it, you should not allow it to fall down on the, because unknowingly if you apply pressure on it, there is a chance for it to burst. Okay, so see that cartridge is not put in the, carelessly put it in the floor and other things. Okay, the captive bolt stunner is a dangerous firearm. Never point the muzzle of the stunner at yourself or anybody. Always see that, see, when you carry the captive bolt, always see, put that muzzle to the direction of the ground. Okay, so by chance if you trigger it also, it is not going to hit anybody. If you are not putting in, if you are carrying in improper directions, what happens is, unknowing, if you trigger it out, and if there is a cartridge, what happens is there is a chance for the bolt to come and it can hit the persons. So you should be very careful when you are handling the captive bolt pistols. Okay, thank you.